Hey guys, it's THPSC here, and today, as you can tell by the title of this video, you guys are getting a tutorial today. And as you guys can also tell from the video, it is the tutorial on how to do the pun can, or however you say that. It is a power trick, as you guys should probably know, and probably already do know. And just to clear up a little bit of confusion that some people might have, spinnerpeem did not create the pun can. He just created the name for it and popularized the name pun can. It was originally created by Pyralux in his second solo video, and he, Pyralux, named it armback. And that's because if you look at what a pun can looks like, it is an arm back. It's back that's done around the arm. So that's basically what you need to know in terms of the history of pun can, I guess. So to start off with this tutorial, you guys are going to need a pen. You don't have to have a buster. Actually, when you start learning pun can, I suggest you don't use a buster, so that when you actually do master the trick, you can transfer over to a buster or have a pen like Dr. KT. And then you will be able to, execute it easier. But again, do not start off with a buster. Now, I actually started off doing pun can actually with the buster. Now, by doing with, I just meant the initial steps of just getting the revolutions in the air, so that when I did the pun can, I just got so that it rotated correctly to hit the back of my forearm. After I kind of mastered the revolution to hit my forearm at the correct angle, I stopped using it. I transferred over to a metallic kamza. Like the captioning says, this is just proof saying that I can do a pun can with a metallic kamza. Here I'm just showing you the barrel to show you that it is a metallic kamza, also showing off the caps and the two black G2 grips that are also on the kamza caps, and the pilot BPS tips that are in also the caps and in the grips. And this metallic kamza is also inkless. Like I said, here I'm using a buster. And how you want to start this off, I generally am going to show you how to do a pun can just from, not in a combo. I'm not going to try to integrate it or show you how to lead up into a pun can. I'm just going to show you how to do one single one so that you can practice it. So what you want to know with the pun can is that there is basically three parts to it. The first part is the release, or how you initially get into the actual pun can. The second part is the actual part where the pen comes to contact with the back of your forearm, and then it actually starts to do some spin around it. And the third part, as with any pen spinning trick, is the catch. And so I'm going to walk you through each one of those, and so let's proceed on to the first step. So step one of the pun can is the release. And how I do it, if you look at my pun can isn't that hard video, you'll see that I always start as if I was about to do a thumb around. So basically, you hold it like you're going to do a thumb round, and you do a thumb round release. Now, I don't know what you guys consider a thumb round release. I consider generally like that, but some people might think, oh, that's just a thumb round to index spread thing. Whatever. I generally think that is a TA release. And what you need to do in this particular trick, at least from what I've seen spinnerpeem do it, like how he went into his pun can, you kind of need to do like half a TA release. And what I mean by that is, instead of letting the pen go around your thumb and then letting your index finger push it up into the air, you have to let the pen just go right up into the air, like that. You don't let it go around your thumb, just push it up into the air. And personally, I think that this is easier because you can control the revolutions while it's in the air a little easier than you can with the thumb round release, or what I consider a thumb round release. So to start off, you need to know that the beginning part of the pun can, aka getting from the hand to your forearm, there is a 0.5 revolution in the air for the pen to spin. And so if you guys look at the blue part of my buster here, see, blue, it will, when you do a pun can, it starts here. It'll end up on this part closest to you. See that? So that's how you need to know how many revolutions you need to do in the air. You need to do half. And then, so first I want you guys to practice just, throwing the pen, not throwing, but like releasing the pen into the air in a controlled fashion so that you get 0.5 spins in the air and so that you can get it so that it hits somewhere, initially, somewhere on your forearm. So now we're moving on to step 2. And step 2 is the actual pun can itself, or I consider it to be. So, like I said before, Pyralux coined the term arm back for this trick. And if you guys want to think of it that way, that is actually an excellent way how to think about it. That mindset and knowing that kind of helped me, think about how this trick actually works and how I could actually try to, wrap my mind around it so that I can understand it better. And you guys know when you do Twisted Sonic Bust, you want to know how your index finger moves in terms of the circular motion that you do and kind of how it works so that the pen goes around your index finger. And if you can imagine your whole forearm as your index finger and the pen as just being the pen, then you can kind of understand how you want the pen to hit and then how you move your arm accordingly after that. So after you do the release, and then you have it so that it hits the back side of your forearm. That's pretty key. You want it to hit the back side of your forearm, not this top side, because this part is bone. Your pen will bounce right off, in most cases anyway. But this back part of your arm is nice and fleshy, and there's muscle there, so that the pen it'll still bounce a little bit, but it won't bounce as much because it's not a hard surface to bounce off of. So once you do the release, you want to look at my arm motion. Don't concentrate on the pen. You go like this, and then you turn your arm over as the pen's spinning in the air. So, like that. And that's something key that I want you guys to practice. Just take your time. After you master getting the 0.5 revolutions down and having it hit anywhere on your arm, then what you want to do is you want to try to focus it so that the pen actually hits the back side of your forearm, preferably somewhere in the middle, like the middle third of your forearm. I wouldn't do it up too high here because there's a chance that when you want to do that like circular motion and try to get the pen to spin around your arm, it's going to be a little more difficult here. And if you do it here, you have a chance of hitting this bone on the back side of your wrist, and that might send the pen flying, or you just might not be able to get it right. So I generally try to do my pun cans in the middle third of my forearm, but whatever works for you guys, you can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to hold you back from doing that. As long as you are managing to do half a revolution in the air and having the pen hit on the back side of your forearm so that when you do it, it makes a spin. And I haven't taught you guys how to catch the pun can yet, so if you just want to practice doing that, just releasing the pen and letting it fall off the back side of your forearm, that'll be just great. You're doing fine with that.